Hi everyone and Happy New Year to you all. I can't believe it is already a couple of days into 2017. 2016 literally flew by, even though I was probably in one of the biggest reading slumps of my life for half the year. So I want to talk to you about my goals for last year, what I achieved, what I didn't. Shouldn't take long to mention what I achieved. And then I want to talk to you about my goals for 2017. So in 2017 my goals were to be more organised on BookTube, cut down requesting books, buddy read a Roald Dahl book every month, catch up on my TBR bucket, read 100 books, be more consistent on my blog, comment on every video I watch, and catch up on tag videos. Guess how many of those I consider myself to have succeeded on? A couple of them I managed to do for half of the year, but I can safely say that I didn't really achieve any of them to full extent. 2016 wasn't a great bookish year for me at all. So, as for being more organised on BookTube, I think that lasted a little while. Probably, I can't really remember, but it definitely went downhill very fast, and that is definitely something I want to learn from in 2017, but we'll get to that later. Cutting down requesting books definitely didn't happen. I've now got more books than I know what to do with, and goes for buying as well. I've got more books than I can probably ever read comfortably in my lifetime, and I don't really know what to do about that. The Roald Dahl buddy reading lasted until around August time, and then both myself and Caris just really struggled to either want to read the book that we were meant to be reading that month or to have time to read it at the same time, and it all just sort of fell apart. But we really enjoyed the half of the year that we did do. Reading Matilda and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and all the other ones that I picked up really made me realise how much I really enjoy rereading and how much I've neglected that since starting BookTube. Catching up on the TBR bucket, I honestly don't think I read a single TBR book it picked last year, and I got to the point where I stopped even picking them out because I've got so many to catch up on. So read 100 books. I think in the end I read 86, so fail. Not too bothered about that one. Blog consistency. I must say that I was probably okay for some of the year, and then the rest of the year I just failed at actually giving my blog any love still. Commenting on every video was something that I kept up for quite a while, and then it started slipping away because I was struggling to think of constructive comments for every single video I watched. Some videos you just don't have anything constructive to say about them. You can't just be like, hi, watched your video, I'm still watching, don't forget that I actually watch your videos. You need to put constructive comments, and so I let that one slip on purpose. If I've got something to say, I do still comment if I've watched a video, but a lot of the time I just click like, move on. And as for the tag videos, I did a couple, but for the most part, the couple that I did really didn't do me any good because I got tagged in so many more, and that is just something that I feel like is going to be a mess forever. So my goals for 2017. As I mentioned, I really enjoyed rereading in 2016, and I'd forgot just how pleasurable rereading is, how comfy and cosy it is, and how much you can discover from rereading a book. Things that you'd never noticed when you've read the book in the past, no matter how many times you've read it in some cases. And so that is something that I really want to focus on more in 2017. There's some books I've been wanting to reread for so long, but I hadn't been letting myself because I felt guilty because I've got all these review copies, I've got all these books I've bought that I've never read, and so if I haven't got time to read all the books I've got, why would I reread? But I'm going to let that logic go by the wayside, and I'm going to reread as much as I want to. So 2017 is going to be, hopefully, an excellent rereading year for me, and that'll be getting kicked off very soon with Harry Potter. Next, as usual, I've got a goal of reading 100 books. This is one that I always take quite casually. I throw in a few graphic novels here and there sometimes to help bump my number up, I'm not going to lie. But for the most part, it's not a challenge that I take overly seriously. As I said, I did fail this one last year and I didn't really care about that. So we'll just see how we get on this year. I've got a feeling deep inside me that I'm actually going to have the best reading year of my life. I might be wrong. We'll see in a year's time. And another one that I want to learn from my mistakes last year, my BookTube consistency and my blog consistency. So I want to try and be consistent on both platforms. And I failed with both of them last year, even though I was trying to do better. So the goal this year is to actually work on that a bit more and try and really get there. And so, linking on to this, my blog consistency, I haven't thoroughly thought about how I want to make that happen yet. But in terms of BookTube, some of the basic things that I want to do are do a weekly reading wrap up every Wednesday. I was doing that towards the end of last year, and then December got absolutely hectic to the point where I didn't know what to do with myself, and I didn't ever got any free time. I wasn't reading, I wasn't doing anything. I felt like I was spending all my time working and Christmas shopping. So yeah, I want to do a weekly reading wrap up every Wednesday, even if it's just to show you what I've coloured that week because I haven't done any other reading. Hopefully that won't be the case. As I said, I've got a really good feeling about my reading this year. Now I am out of that slump. I just can't get enough of reading because last year was just one massive, great big reading slump. I never really properly got myself totally out of it. I'd think I was out of it, and then a couple of books later I'd be like, nah, Netflix. And that was okay. Maybe I needed that time off from reading, but this year I just feel so ready to read. I want to read all the books. Obviously I can't. So with the weekly reading wrap up every Wednesday, the other guaranteed videos I want to do are on a Friday. There will either be a book tag, as I mentioned I've got enough of them to catch up on, or some sort of top 10 or recommendations videos or discussions, and then every Sunday either a book haul, because I am behind on book hauling for about the last 2 months as well. And so book hauls, and again more like recommendation-y top 10 star videos, anything else I can think of, random new video ideas, that's where they'll be going. So that is 3 guaranteed uploads a week. Upon that, I still want to do individual book reviews, but I'm not going to pressure myself quite as much as what I was last year because I was getting so stressed out at the fact that I was so behind on my reviews. So this year I'm going to make sure that I do individual reviews for all the books that I read that I've requested to review, and I'm also going to review any that I've purchased that I feel quite strongly about and want to talk about, and anything else it'll be fine in the weekly reading wrap up. You don't need more than that. And also, moving on from the idea about the reading slump from last year, I feel like maybe that was because I was feeling like I had to read certain things, and I had to read this and I had to read that, and everything was so, I knew what I'd be reading from one week to the next for several months potentially, and that just took the fun out of reading a bit. So I think I really need to just read what I want to read to avoid an awful slump again. So as I said, I'm going to reread, I'm going to read what I want to read. It doesn't matter if that book needs to be reviewed for tomorrow. If I don't feel like reading it, there's no point me reading it, because then I won't get 50 more review books done because I'll be in a slump for the rest of the year. So I'm going to have fun and read what I want, and that just feels really liberating right now. And the final goal is I've actually started writing my own novel, and I really want to get that finished this year. I don't know whether I'll have time to properly devote to it properly, because obviously I work full time and I want to get all this reading done, and most of the time I'm usually more in the mood to read than I am to write, but it'd be beautiful if I could get this book finished to some sort of level. We'll see how that goes. I'm not going to put any pressure on this one. Again, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I want this to be such a more relaxed year, such a more fun-filled bookish year, and hopefully a better year all round than what last year was in terms of bookish stuff. So thank you so much for watching this video. Please let me know what your bookish New Year's resolutions are, how you did with your goals last year. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more book reviews and other bookish content from me. And I will see you tomorrow with my first weekly reading wrap up of 2017. Bye bye!